All right, the full moon in Gemini is going to occur on December 15th, 2024. This is a powerful time for growth, expansion, and change. Now, if you notice, I got my yellow lucky Gemini shirt on, right? Gemini's good. Yellow's a good color for Gemini. Also, you're going to notice that the conjunction of the moon with Jupiter and the sun opposing that. Oh, really? Yes, we've got this little thing going on, right? That's what we got, right? Now, think about this. The full moon also coincides with the lunar standstill, which is a powerful shift in energy. The ancients recognized this. The Bronze Age civilizations, the Celts, and some folks in Mexico and in Colorado, and even in Ohio, they marked this point in their observatories. This northernmost point and the southernmost point where the moon rises and sets. And it coincides with the solstice. This is why it's called lunastice. The full moon, it's Gemini moon. Yeah, let's talk about this, okay? First, we're going to get ourselves a chart here, so let's do that real quickly. All right, there we are. Let's start here. So here's the front piece. This is the thumbnail for the full moon in Gemini, right? Here's our, oh, I made that too. Isn't that nice? Yeah, I like that very much. Okay, here's our chart that we have, the full moon, for the full moon. We're looking at a couple of aspects here, okay? We've got the moon and Jupiter, and we've got Mercury sitting over here, and we've got the sun sitting right here. Now, with Mercury, the ruler of Gemini, sitting in Sagittarius, and Jupiter, the ruler of Sagittarius, sitting in Gemini, we've got a situation here called mutual reception. Now, they're not necessarily conjunct, although they were at one point. But what it does is it just gives it this flavor, this flavor where we're just expanding and we're just moving right out, okay? We have the sun, we have Mars in the house of the sun, okay? And that's pretty, that's going to be pretty powerful too, because that's giving even that retrograde Mars something to do. Now, let's talk about this really just, it's full at 4:02 in the morning, and it's going to be at 23 degrees, right around 52 minutes. You can see it right here, Gemini and of Sagittarius. Now, the sun is very close to that galactic core. It's going to be, the galactic core is 27 degrees, I believe. So we've got the sun very close to there. So we've got these things going on, this motion, this moving forward. And this is very creative. Now, let's talk about why this full moon in Gemini is going to be occurring on December 15th. And look, we already know this stuff, right? There's a Jupiter-Saturn square that you saw on that chart. That's a period of reassessment, right? We're looking at things. Now, we also have to remember that Uranus is sitting right also in Taurus, okay? So even though we're looking at things, these are ideas. These are things that we're reflecting on. That Jupiter-Saturn square, it's a reassessment for us, okay? There's opportunities that are here for us. We have some opportunities. We have opportunities if we go with our creative selves and what we believe in. That's where Saturn's at, right? If we're doing the work, no matter how hard it is, Saturn provides the reward. And that's really what's going on here. We're doing some really hard work here. Mercury retrograde also ends on the 15th, and this is going to put everything forward. Mercury stations direct, and that just means we focus on the clarity, mental clarity. We've got communication. We've got our tech back. We've got some of these things going on. We're actually utilizing some of the tech that's in our hands. We had last time that Pluto entered Aquarius, we had the AI. AI has exploded. I've been using it like crazy. I don't use it to create, but I use it to boil down and to get to my main points and to try to help me express things better to you. We've got some other things going on here too, but really what the main thing that I really want to emphasize is that just we have this going on, and it's a great chance for us to really pick up and do what it is that we need to be doing. It gives a lot of power to our creativity, to our minds, and think about it. The moon in Gemini, Gemini's a mutable air sign, and it's associated with versatility and adaptability. We've got Sagittarius directly across from Gemini. That's a place, that's also an adaptable place. That's a moving place. Pisces, mutable. Now, we have a square in there, and that square was actually with Saturn at the beginning of it, Mars, and then we had the sun, right? So we've got all these things kind of squaring off. I think it was Mercury, actually. Mercury So we have these things squaring off. It's not the sun, Mercury. So what we have going on is we have this T-square. That's what it's called. It's a T-square that's formed on this particular aspect. And what it really does is it gives us a chance to look opposite it and say, okay, we've got a challenge between what Saturn wants us to do and what Mars is doing. So the actions are kind of restricted. Our thoughts, they were restricted. They were going backwards, but now they're starting to move forwards again, okay? How are we going to deal with this? We're going to deal with this in a Virgo way. We're going to a real world, down to earth. That's what's opposite Saturn on that scale. That's that other mutability piece. That's that other mutable piece, the piece that can just work all together. They're versatile, right? So if we take what we're doing and we really learn from it and we learn the lessons and we adapt it, that's where it's going to be going. That's where we are at, okay? We have to understand that there's a bunch of creativity in here, okay? There is creativity galore. Now, can it run off the rails? Yeah, maybe a little bit. Gemini, we can go off on tangents, right? Sagittarius, we go off to different countries, tangents in different countries. Pisces, we go inward and we just go, oh my goodness, what are we doing? Virgo is also inward, but it's very practical. It goes in, it goes out. It looks at everything, and it ties everything together. That's why this Virgo position, this empty position, is very important. Now, you think about it, you say, Shane, there's an empty position over there. There's no planet over there. How is this having an effect on anything? Look at your own chart. You still have houses, even if you don't have planets in them, where the houses fall in an empty sector. That sector still has influence over that part of your life. The ruler of that sector also has influence in part of your life. The ruler of Virgo happens to be in Sagittarius. So there we are. You have Sagittarius working there. We've got Virgo working. We've got everything working all together. And Virgo and Saturn, they're kind of like going to pump the brakes a little bit. They're going to keep those other things from going astray. Even though you think about it, if it's a mutable sign, you're like, oh my God, it's a mutable sign. No, they're working together, right? They're working. They that's kind of like the axis of anchor, whereas the other one is the axis of expansion. We're going one way, we're going the other way. We bring it all together for happy medium, and this is a very positive step forward. This is a big boost in us trying to get our things out there. For creative folks, your word's going to get out there more. You're going to be able to reach more people. This has some social media connotations and everything where we can get our word out there just a little bit further. Just do the work, right? Now, there's some that feel like these are energetic upgrades, right? Energetic upgrades? Yeah, maybe. You know, we're looking at these things and we've got the communication thing going on, right? We've got the adaptability. Look, we have Pluto and Venus. We had those for a while, right? They're in Aquarius. Venus is there, and she's going to be coming into some aspects this week too. But what we're really talking about is the full moon. This energy is going to carry through out the week. It's going to bring us into the next new moon that's going to occur in Capricorn. We're booked between. This is, for us on the East Coast, this is our black moon period. This is going to give us an opportunity to have a beginning right here, and then we're going to have another new beginning. We have a beginning right here. We had the new moon in Sagittarius that brought us to this point. Full moon in Gemini. This is a culmination of what it was we thought we were doing. Now, there's some sudden starts and stops here. There's some surprising changes. We're moving forward. Uranus and Taurus, yeah, we got to express this uniquely, right? We are moving forward. If you look at the whole chart right here, we seem to be moving towards a direction. We can see the directions where they've headed, where they're going. We can see some of the trends that are happening, some of the larger societal changes that are starting to happen. Just look at Syria. Just look at what's going on around the world. You don't have to look too far to see things that are happening, even in the United States, where attitudes are changing and we're looking at things totally differently. There's a whole different view on health insurance, right? There's a whole different view on worldviews and what people may say or do. This is what we're really looking at now. Don't want to get involved in that stuff too much. This involves us, and it's very, very intimate. We have an opportunity here to set ourselves up for all of 2025. We just need to embrace this. The actions that we take now Mars is going to take and catalog. Mars isn't really keen on taking too much action because we're going back in Leo. Leo is how we become a star, right? We're learning how to do it. We're learning how to put ourselves first. We're learning how to be our own boss. Some other astrologers like to call it being sovereignty, right? There's no more sovereign planets than Mars, and Leo is a sovereign sign, and so is Aries. That is to say, I am this. We're moving away from relying on other people and relying on other things, and we're basically being reliant upon ourselves. That's that independence. That's what they're fostering in Aquarius. Aquarius is a very independent sign. It's very aloof, and it doesn't do anything. Even though it's fixed, right? It's fixed, but you deal with an Aquarian. It's their way, right? That's all they want. They're their own. They're their own dog. They're their own leader. That's what I got for you for this full moon. I hope you enjoy it. I've done all of my preparation for my rituals and stuff like that. I'm going to take advantage of this because I think it's very powerful. I think this is going to be a great electional day to really empower ourselves to take control of our own communications, take control of our own channels, whatever you want to call it, media, whatever we're working in. That's what we're taking charge of. Whatever we're doing, that's what we're putting out there, and that's also what we're taking charge of. Thank all of you for listening to this. Thank all of you for putting up with me. I hope you like this. I hope you follow this. I hope this resonated with you. Only going to get better at doing this, folks. We only get better, and that same goes for you. Do me a favor. Drop me a line down there and tell me what your side hustle is, what you want to be doing, what you want to be finding yourself doing. This is for creative people, and I'm really curious to know how many different musicians, how many different artists, graphic artists, fine artists, whatever you happen to do. If you're a singer, if you're a dancer, if you write poetry, if you write drama, if you write fiction, drop it down below. I really want to know. This is your moon. This is a great moon for those ideas to start coming in, especially with Mercury stationing direct. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Happy astrocatting.